Have you ever wondered if the Great Wall of China actually worked? This massive wall, stretching thousands of miles, cost countless lives and unimaginable wealth. But did it really stop invaders? Or was it just a giant stone myth? Let's travel back over 2,000 years and find out. The story begins around 2,500 years ago during China's spring and autumn period. Back then, China was cut up into many small kingdoms. Each one struggled to defend itself from powerful nomadic tribes to the north. So, they started building walls. Not one great wall, but many small, disconnected walls. Then came China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, the man who unified the warring states into one empire in 221 BCE. He looked at these scattered walls and thought, why not connect them? So he forced hundreds of thousands of laborers, prisoners, peasants, and even soldiers to get to work and start connecting the walls. That was the birth of the first Great Wall. After the Qin collapsed, the Han dynasty picked up the mission. Starting with Emperor Liu Bang, the Han rulers kept expanding and strengthening the wall. They knew that China's wealth and farmland needed protection from fast-moving cavalry raids from north. Even the Tang dynasty, famous for its open trade and vibrant culture, didn't forget the wall. The tribes from the north still threatened them, so the Tang kept watchtowers and walls in good repair. The Great Wall never really slept. During the Song dynasty, the wall's role faded and it began to fall into disrepair. But then came the unstoppable Mongols. They swept down, broke through, and ruled all of China. The Great Wall failed that time, but the story wasn't over yet. When the Ming dynasty restored Han Chinese rule in the 14th century, the wall got a second life. The Ming emperors, especially the Yongle Emperor Zhu Di, poured resources into rebuilding and reinforcing the wall to keep out Mongol remnants. The wall you see today, the iconic brick fortifications snaking over mountain ridges, is mostly Ming work. Lastly, the Qin dynasty, a Manchu people from the north. They conquered China by crossing the wall and then ruled both sides. They declared that the Great Wall was no longer a military barrier, but a symbol of China's history. So, was the wall useless? Well, no. First, it was an early warning system. Those watchtowers and beacon fires, a network of smoke signals and flames, could spread news of an invasion faster than a galloping horse. Second, it was a real physical obstacle. 10 meters high might not sound huge today, but for ancient horsemen carrying gear and ladders, it was a serious problem. Defenders on top could rain down arrows, roll rocks, or drop stones. Third, it was a highway. The wide path on top allowed Chinese troops and supplies to move quickly across the rugged terrain, from one fortress to the next. And fourth, it was an economic weapon. When the Great Wall was sealed, nomadic tribes couldn't easily trade for Chinese grain, iron tools, or cooking pots. They could attempt to raid, or they could negotiate. Did the Great Wall stop every invader? No, Of course not. Did it shape the balance of power for centuries? Absolutely. And today, long after its towers fell silent, the Great Wall still stands, not just as stone and brick, but as proof that walls can be more than walls. They can be beacons, barriers, roads, and legends.